welcome to the third day of Connecting Michigan for Health. Just a quick thing just to make sure we get some stretching in or something, some movement. If folks could raise their hands if they'd been to two of the days preceding today, so Wednesday and Thursday at the conference. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, great. So you have a lot of context. I know some of the speakers today also spoke during the sessions in the past couple days, and they actually were excited that they had a chance to go a little deeper dive today. And the way we like to run the workshops is much more informal and interactive. So each speaker, we're going to let them get through their slides typically, but we'll have, at the end of each session, we'll have time. If there's a burning question, you might even be able to raise your hand, and I don't know if it depends on how the speakers are doing, they might be able to take them, but I think what we'll do is we'll let the speakers roll, ask the questions, we'll have plenty of breaks. This is a group of, you know, I know at least presenters, we've got kind of an all-star cast, not only from across the nation, but also some of the all-stars in our state that are helping lead the quality measure, quality reporting movement. And so feel free to interact with those folks throughout the day, and we're all collectively trying to learn this space and make each other smarter. So I'm Rick Wilkening, and my role is to try and keep people on time, but I was told that the toughest person to keep on time might be me, so I'm going to have to keep myself brief. I don't know if folks actually saw Dr. Simmer's presentation yesterday. I've seen him present this slide a number of times, and it actually is starting to become a Rorschach test for me, because I can't figure out if sometimes I'm the guy who's trying to make his turtle jump through the ring of fire, and sometimes I feel like that turtle who is just looking at like, are you kidding me? You expect me to do this? And I honestly feel that way sometimes just doing some of these quality measure exercises, as far as sometimes we feel like we're pushing and sometimes we feel like we're being pushed. And sometimes we think that that's an impossible task, but yet we know collectively we're going to be able to jump through that ring of fire. I don't think I ever felt like the ring of fire, but I think it's kind of, I can see how the multiple roles are played out by probably a number of you in the room. Again, like I said, we've got some leading experts. I mean, starting off with here's the quick agenda. We're going to run through a couple of sessions that Bo's going to give us an overview. We're going to run through looking at the QRDA versus CCDAs, kind of the formats. We're going to talk about ECQMs, and we're going to get a speaker from NCQA, which we're glad Ben could join us today to speak to us about HEDIS. Then we're going to get into some of the other things that are happening around the state, local level, and then end with a summary of MACRA MIPS with Dr. Larson. So talking about the folks that are speaking today, again, all-star cast. I think many of you heard Dr. KENDRICK speak yesterday. I think Tim Pletcher explains that, or describes Dr. KENDRICK as that triple threat. You know, he understands the business, he's a physician, and he understands the technology. And so, he's one of those guys, when you look at everything that he does, it makes me feel like I must be very unproductive because of all the boards and all of the areas that he's leading. We have Dr. Larson speaking, who actually helped create some of the measures at the federal level. And so again, is one of the leading experts in the country. And it's great to be able to have him in the room and the chance to pick his brain. Ben Hamlin's going to join us, as I mentioned earlier, from NCQA. And when we've been doing work with both the payers and providers in the state, we constantly get feedback that we need to make sure that NCQA, we have their voice, because when the payers are doing their HEDIS reporting, they have to have the audit and they have to make sure that the information's coming straight from the EHR. So what we're excited to hear about from Ben is kind of the evolution of moving from that claim cycle over to more of the clinical measures. Dr. Gregory MiHIN, hope I'm saying that right, MAKRIS, right? It's great to have Dr. MiHIN here. He's going to talk about one of the leading initiatives, and now getting back towards the state level. It's the Great Lakes Practice Transformation Network. It's actually a multi-state effort, and Dr. MiHIN is the clinical lead there. So he'll give us that perspective on what's happening at more of a local level, and there's actually a large number of participants across the Great Lakes region in that practice, in that Practice Transformation Network that we're excited to hear more about later. Joe Neller, I don't know if he's in the room yet, but he spoke a little bit a couple days ago, and he's going to again share what's happening with our physicians and the payer community sitting down together and trying to solve not only the HEDIS challenges that we talked about before, but also how can we move towards that report once environment. Jason Werner is going to talk to us really again at the state level, and I think Jeff mentioned it yesterday, how Jason was really kind of a visionary from our perspective in helping us look at the flood that we will be seeing for the ECQMs. And we really looked to Jason to help us with what's happening at the state, and also I see Monica came in the room as far as from the state Medicaid side, other leaders that help us across the state understand how we need to make sure we're doing what Medicaid needs, and also at the larger level for the Medicaid EHR programs as well. And I put Bo last because he's actually kicking us off, but we have kind of these all-stars from across the country. We got these all-stars from across the state, and Bo's more like our Rookie of the Year candidate. So I've been fortunate to work with Bo since he was an intern a couple years ago, and he's been just diving into this quality space, and he's one of our go-to people at MiHIN to help us understand what these acronyms mean. And he's actually, I think, presenting a cheat sheet I asked him to make for me because I kept messing up PQRS, MU, and et cetera, and then PPQC, other things that I think we helped make up. He's going to help get us started on the right path. Just a couple quick housekeeping items. Bathrooms, if you've been here for a couple days, you remember they're kind of out down the hall. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to give a visual cue to move the phone to silent mode to make sure we don't disrupt any of our folks. And also on social media, if you'd like to follow and or contribute, we're at Connected Michigan in Twitter, Facebook, etc. And again, you know, today was really about you trying to get information, and then also this room collectively sharing information. So please be a participant today and not just a passive listener, okay? So with that, I'll hand it over to Mr. BORGNAKKE.